a little live stream here in the middle of the day. We can talk about a couple of things, especially the Giants Redskins, since I haven't even addressed it yet. But yeah, we will. So we'll wait for a few peeps to get in here, and then we can talk about some stuffs that I want to talk about for sure. What's going on there? I look pissed off. I'm not pissed off. I'm trying to. My page will not scroll here. I don't know what's going on. It's just look of that's my kids look. It's just my scowl. It's when I'm trying to concentrate on something. So anyway, what is up, everybody? This was kind of an impromptu thing. I'm off today. I had to take my my little guy to the doctor. He had to have shots. Poor little dude. So he's napping at the moment. So one thing I've been noticing here recent days after the Snacks Harrison trade is a lot of Giants fans, for whatever reason, are getting on Dave Gettleman's case. Okay. I don't understand this. I know some Giants fans just don't understand that we are in full rebuild mode. I know that. It's obvious by their comments. Why don't we get more for Snacks Harrison? All that. Because you don't rebuild around a 30-year-old defensive tackle that makes a fortune. You don't build around veteran players at big contracts. That's not what a rebuild is. A rebuild is dumping all of that, starting over fresh. Jerry Reese ruined this team. Jerry Reese is the reason the Giants are 1-6. It's not Dave Gettleman's fault. Dave Gettleman did not come in here, take over a 12-4 team, and bring us to 1-6. That's not what happened. The Giants have been poor for some time now. For years. I know we were 11-5 in 2016, but if you actually watched the games and went back and looked at how bad the schedule was, how easy and soft it was, and how we could barely beat any of those teams, 11-5 is a little deceiving. We lost to the Packers twice. They were a winning ball club. We lost to the Vikings that year. We got crushed by the Steelers that year. We lost to the Redskins, who had a losing record. We lost to the Eagles, who had a losing record. The only team we beat with a winning record was Dallas. And let's face it, as sweet as that was because they were 13-3, we only won both of those games by a combined 4 points. And the reason we won the last game was because of a 3-yard slant to Odell Beckham that took 80 yards. Dave Gettleman cannot come in here and fix what was done by Jerry Reese for the better part of a decade. I don't take notes very often. And I know Jerry Reese has drafted extremely poorly since 2011. So today, this morning, I decided to take a look at our draft picks. And I'm going to tell you exactly why the Giants are 1-6, and it has nothing to do with Dave Gettleman. I started with 2011. By the way, thanks for joining me. Hit that like, hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so. But anyway, I'm going to read off every freaking draft pick that he's had since 2011. And you will find that there is about 4 impact players on this list. 2011, our first round pick was Prince Amukamara. That was a terrible pick. Prince Amukamara was a below-average cornerback. He had 7 interceptions in his entire Giants career. At least he contributed something. But as a first-round pick, this guy should be at least a Pro Bowl player. Not an All-Pro, but a Pro Bowl player. But he rarely was. He's not with the team anymore. He was not a good first-round pick. Second-round pick, Marvin Austin. Who the hell is Marvin Austin? That was our second-round pick in 2011. Third-round pick, Drell Jernigan. He returned kickoffs for a little while for us. Didn't impact anything. Fourth-round pick, James Brewer. You know who James Brewer is? No. Sixth-round pick, we have 2 of them. Greg Jones, Jaquan Williams. Greg Jones, nothing. Jaquan Williams played a few downs for us, had a cup of coffee, go on, nothing. 7th round pick, Darrell Scott, 4th string running back, kick returner. Big deal. He played about a year there. That's a wasted draft. 2012, David Wilson. I can't blame Reese for this pick. David Wilson had an incredible amount of talent, but he had a career-ending neck injury, kind of like Bilal Powell has right now. But again, David Wilson didn't contribute to the team. So there's a player that's a wasted draft pick. Unfortunately, it just ends up being that way. 2nd round pick, Giants. Remember Reuben Randall? Reuben Randall drove us all nuts. Had a world of talent, is about as inconsistent as it comes. Rarely made a big impact with the New York Giants. 3rd round pick in 2012, Jaron Hosley. Remember how many times Jaron Hosley got urinated on by wide receivers and how piss poor that guy was on a constant basis? 3rd round pick in 2012. 4th round pick, Adrian Hernandez, tight end. Did he ever play it down for the Giants? Did he ever catch a pass for the Giants? I don't even know. I remember the pick. Don't know what he did. There's another bad pick. 6th round pick, Matt McCants. Who? 7th round pick, Marcus Coon. Any of you guys see a good player in those first two that I just mentioned in the entire draft? Nothing. 2013, it gets better. Justin Pugh. We tried him at tackle. He was disgusting at right tackle. They moved him to guard. He ended up being an average guard. He was an undersized guy. He got pushed back. Not great against run blocking, but he could pull very well because he was an athletic guy. I'm not going to say that was a bad pick, but you want an impact lineman on your 1st round pick. Justin Pugh was not that guy. He's not with the team anymore. Number 2 pick in 2013, Jonathan Hankins. That was a good pick. Jonathan Hankins could play. He was a good player. He's a good defensive tackle. I liked Hankins. Hankins was an impact player for us. He was a very good player. That's a good pick in the 2nd round. Not a fantastic pick, but a good pick. 3rd round pick in 2013, DeMontre Moore. Giants was negative. 2013, 4th round pick. We traded up to get Ryan Nassib. What the hell? A backup quarterback? I don't know, but Ryan Nassib never did anything for the Giants. 5th round pick, Cooper Taylor. Again, Cooper Taylor ever do anything for the Giants? Not a damn thing. We had 2 7th round picks in 2013. Eric Herman and Michael Cox. Michael Cox ran the ball about 3 times and returned maybe 3 kicks. Again, we got nothing out of the 2013 draft except for Pugh and Hankins, and neither one of them are there anymore. So again, this is a wasted draft. 2014, Odell Beckham. I don't need to say anything else about that. That one worked out. The dude's a head case. The dude's a nut job. He's a lot of problems, but the guy can play football. One of the best receivers in the league. Odell Beckham was a good draft pick, okay? Weston Richburg, 2nd round pick. This one's not terrible. Not good. He was an average to below average center. Again, he was a guy that could pull and he could do all those things. But again, lining up and running, just straight on straight run blocking. He was a smaller center. He got pushed back. He's not with the team anymore either. But that's an okay pick. So far we've got 2 good ones and an okay, pretty much. Okay. 3rd round pick, Jay Bromley. No impact for Jay Bromley. Played a few times, big deal, wasn't any good. Andre Williams was a 4th round pick. Same thing. He couldn't do it. He's not with the team anymore. He's not in football anymore. This is 2014 draft. Andre Williams ain't in the league anymore. Nat Burhay, same thing, hard-hitting safety, but never made an impact, was constantly hurt and didn't do anything. 5th round pick, Devon Kennard. That's a good pick. Devon Kennard in the 5th round, that's good value. We got a lot out of Devon Kennard. He's an NFL linebacker. He can play. That was a very good pick by Jerry Reese. That was one of the few. Devon Kennard in the 5th round was a solid value pick. And then Bennett Jackson in the 6th round pick. Who the hell is that? 2015, it gets better now. Eric Flowers. I don't need to say anything more about Eric Flowers. Probably the worst pick Jerry Reese had in his tenure with the New York Giants, to be honest with you. 2nd round pick, he traded up to get Landon Collins. Landon Collins, jury's still out on him. I think he's overrated. The problem is, in the beginning of 2016, the first 8 games, Landon Collins showed the kind of talent he has. I don't want to give up on Landon Collins. I think Landon Collins has talent. I just question his passion. I don't know, man. It's a strange thing. I don't really want to trade. It's weird. I don't want to trade Landon Collins, and I don't want to extend Landon Collins. I'd rather just franchise him and see what he does next year. I really, unless somebody blows us away with a trade deal, I don't want to get rid of Landon Collins. I want to franchise him and see what he does next year. But that's a good pick. I can't say that's not a good pick. He's playing. He plays it. He's just inconsistent, but he's a good player. Odighizuwa in the 3rd round. He's not with the team anymore, I don't think. He never did anything for the Giants anyway. He was a nothing player for us. He didn't make any kind of impact. 5th round pick, Michael Thompson, not with the team, always hurt. Who the hell is he? Never mattered. 6th round pick, Jeremy Davis, wide receiver out of UConn. Never played for the Giants, didn't do anything. 7th round pick, Bobby Hart, dude's terrible, never did anything with the Giants. Another bad draft. 2016, here we go again. Eli Apple. Need I say more? Go watch my video if you've never seen my video on my other channel, the how I ranted the day we drafted Eli Apple. Garbage. Horrible. Not with the team anymore. Okay? 2nd round pick. Probably one of the best that he had was Sterling Shepard. Sterling Shepard, a guy that I watched at OU for years. I knew this kid could play. He's a great route runner, great hands. He beasted against the Falcons. And to be honest with you, they don't utilize Sterling Shepard enough. They forced the ball to Odell Beckham too much. If the Giants want to be successful in the passing game, not only do we need another quarterback, they have to start looking Sterling Shepard's way. Because Sterling Shepard is open on almost every play if you watch it. That kid can play. That was a very good pick by Jerry Reese. 3rd round pick, Darian Thompson. Always hurt, never played, wasn't really good anyway, not with the team anymore. 4th round pick, B.J. Goodson. Got some talent. Doesn't really make much of an impact, but he's got some talent. So I guess the jury's still out on him, but B.J. Thompson. 5th round pick, Paul Perkins. Looked like he could have been a decent running back. He wasn't going to be every down running back. Looked like he could be decent. Now he's just the odd man out and the Giants running in the backfield. 6th round pick in 2016 was Jarrell Adams. Again, guy never did anything for the damn Giants. So with the exception of Sterling Shepard, that draft is no good. Last year, Evan Engram. Evan Engram, he's a good receiver. He needs to catch the damn ball. He's got a lot of speed. Didn't need Evan Engram. We did not need a receiving tight end. We needed to work on the line. We needed to do a lot of other things. Did not need a tight end. So this is a bad draft pick. Not because Evan Engram's not talented, but because this is a position that we had no use for, and he drafted it anyway. 2nd pick, Dalvin Tomlinson. Good draft pick. Dalvin Tomlinson can play. I want to see more of Dalvin Tomlinson. Really, the jury's still on these guys. So I'm not going to say really bad or, good or bad things. Like I said, the Engram pick's bad because we didn't need Evan Engram. 3rd round pick, Davis Webb. Not with the team anymore. Should have gave him a look. Didn't give him a look. Not with the team anymore. And he's a Jets backup, Jets practice squad. Oh, I don't even know where the hell Davis Webb is. So, again, nobody else thought that highly of him either. 4th round pick, Wayne Gallman. That's a good pick. Wayne Gallman is a good running back. He's very serviceable. He's a good backup. I like Wayne Gallman. I think Wayne Gallman's got some talent. I'm not going to knock that pick. I think that was a good pick. 5th round pick, Avery Moss. Does he do anything for the Giants? He's still with the Giants. Cares? He's a nothing. 6th round pick, Adam Bisnaway. Whatever the hell. Bisnaway. Who the hell is he? It's not even worth saying his name right. So as you can see, when you have 7 bad drafts in a row, you are in this situation. You're this caught up to the Giants. Dave Gettleman can't fix 7 years of bad drafting in one season. So the fact that Giants fans are like, oh, Gettleman's ruining their team. Are you serious? 2013, 7-9, 2014, 6-10, 2015, 6-10, 2016, 11-5, and again, it's misleading. And then last year, 3-13. This is some of the worst freaking drafting I've ever seen in my life. Okay? Now, Gettleman overpaid Solder. Solder has not worked out so far. That looks like a bad move. I'm hoping he gets it together. He can play better than he's playing. That I know. He can't be this bad. That's not looking very good right now. But I'm looking at the guys that he drafted. Saquon Barkley pretty much has made a better impact than anyone that Reese picked except for maybe Odell Beckham. Okay? Will Hernandez is a rookie. I'm not going to bash these guys because Will Hernandez is a rookie. I'm hoping he gets better. He's looked overmatched so far. I'm not going to say that he's been good. He's shown some signs, but he's struggled, okay? 3rd round pick, Lorenzo Carter. Lorenzo Carter can play, okay? But again, Dave Gettleman cannot fix 7 years of bad drafts in 1 year. It can't happen, guys. So guys that are getting on Dave Gettleman's case because of this whole snacks deal, they don't understand the point of a rebuild. The Giants should have rebuilt after the 2015 season. If they were going to get rid of Coughlin, This is when they should have went out and instead of paying $200 million for defense, just said, you know what? We're blowing it up now. We're going to come in with a whole new regime. We're blowing it up, and we're going to start fresh because this team's going nowhere. But Jerry Reese is too stupid to do that. They are too stupid to think the Giants every year were a damn Super Bowl contender when we were far from it. This is why you can't get on Gettleman's case. I mean, seriously. If you're getting on Gettleman's case, I'm sorry. You don't really understand the process of what it takes to rebuild a team and why we are rebuilding. Okay? This is a bad team. It has been a bad team for a long freaking time. And as you see by those draft picks, you can understand why the Giants are in the state they're in. It's not because Dave Gettleman came in here and blew apart a good team. I looked it up. Now, Snacks Harrison, fan favorite. I like Snacks Harrison myself. You know, understand why he had to be let go. Don't care that we got a 5th-round pick. I want Janoris Jenkins out of here next. I don't care if we get a 5th-round pick. I want cap relief, and I want draft picks. That's how you rebuild. That's what a rebuild is. You don't rebuild by keeping your big-name players that make a fortune. That's not how it works, okay? He's going to get rid of these freaking Reese guys, and he should, because these Reese guys don't perform. It's that simple. But I want to tell you something about Snacks Harrison. Not a good pass rush. Good run stuff. Snacks Harrison plays, I don't know how many downs, probably half the time, a little more than half the time. He had no sacks. He had 4 tackles for loss this year. B.J. Hill, who plays a fraction of the time that Snacks plays, 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss. B.J. Hill is not – now, I know statistics don't tell the whole story, but that just shows you that B.J. Hill's not that far of a fall-off from Snacks Harrison, who's going to cost the Giants $16.5 million in cap space in the next 2 years, as opposed to a guy that makes absolutely nothing. B.J. Hill and Dalvin Tomlinson can do the job just fine that Snacks Harrison is doing. Okay? So you have to, if you're looking at it from a real fan's perspective and not just, I like Snacks. Why did we get rid of him? He was a Pro Bowl guy. Why did we get rid of him? Oh, my God, Dave Gettleman sucks. Pay attention to what's going on is all I can say. I mean, I had a guy today in a chat or in a video tell me that Gettleman stinks because he signed Solder, who's looked bad, and he signed, and I'm not lying to you, he signed Ma. Not Omaha, Ma. M-A-M-A-M-A-H. That was who he said Gettleman signed. I said, well, obviously, this just proves my point. You don't really understand what's going on with the job. Ma. We signed Ma. Yo, Ma. My Ma. Your ma don't dance and your daddy don't rock. Ma. It's But this is the type of thing we're dealing with. So fat people love Snacks, but yeah, this is that's what I'm saying, guys. Overpaid. Not overpaid, just paid a lot. Okay, what's up, Agent? How you doing? Paid a lot. What's up, again, guys? I'm sorry I haven't been looking at this because I just kind of been rambling on, but I appreciate everybody being here, man. So thank you guys for being here, of course. But, you know, the only thing I'm questioning about Dave Gettleman is the Shurmur hiring. I don't know much about Pat Shurmur. Did he go with the Vikings last year? He won 9 games to the Browns, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it actually was to win 9 games to the Browns. The questionable play calling is killing me this year. But the fact of the matter is the Giants are very low on talent. And as I said, you do not rebuild a free agency. You build with a draft, you plug holes and fill your team in with free agents. You don't pay $200 million for free agents to try to cover up bad drafting because it may work for a season. And everybody said this too. I remember when we did this in 2016. It said it ain't going to be a long-term fix. And you're absolutely right. And it's not a long-term fix because we're 4-19 in our last 2 years in the regular season. So I'm getting sick and tired of people ripping on Dave Gettleman when he pretty much got a sinking ship that was almost at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. So when your crew can't right the ship and your crew is dragging that thing down to the freaking Atlantic Ocean, they're just sinking the ship. It's time for a whole new crew. And that's what Dave Gettleman is doing. Trust the process. I know. I'm impatient too. I'm sick of this damn losing myself. So I understand Giants fans getting mad and getting frustrated. I completely feel your pain. Trust me. But you got to trust the process. This should have been done 3 years ago. This rebuild should have been done 3 years ago. Jerry Reese was too damn arrogant. He wouldn't believe that his picks were bad. He couldn't just admit that he was wrong. and say, I screwed up there, I messed up there, we need to rebuild. No, they couldn't do that. Gettleman has to do it, and Gettleman's doing it. It might take us a couple of years. But trust me when I tell you we're going to go in the right direction now that we're dumping this cap. We're getting rid of these veterans. We're getting rid of these Reese guys. But as I said, when you go back and look at the last 7 years of drafting before Gettleman got here, you can obviously see why the New York Giants are in the predicament they are in. And it's got nothing to do with Dave Gettleman. Give that guy a chance. At least let him put his players in here. And if his players fail, then you can blame him like we blame Jerry Reese. But let's face it. I think, what I say, the Giants had 4 impact players, maybe 5, over 7 years of drafting. I mean, well, I will say this too. I mean, you don't see unrestricted free agents and all these other things. He did sign Victor Cruz, Jerry Reese, and that was fantastic. That was a fantastic signing, okay? That was a great job to get him on the team. But just going by the draft alone, you can see how awful it is. Shepard's not going anywhere, dude. Sterling Shepard's not going anywhere. You can see how bad the draft is. And when you have to build a team through the draft and you have 7 years of bad draft picks where you have like 4 impact players over 7 years, there's some GMs that get 4 impact players in one draft. And we got 4 impact players over 7 years. That's why we're bad. That's why we're horrible. That's why we're a laughing stock. What's up, Efrain? How you doing? That's why we're a laughing stock. But this is the thing, Cruz on. Carolina's still a good team. Carolina was 11-5 last year, made the playoffs. They're 4-2 this year. They're on their way to making the playoffs. He didn't leave them in a bad spot. He didn't leave them in that bad of a spot. And he came in here and he had nothing to work with. He can't make this worse. He can only make this better. He can only make this better. That's the truth. So we'll see. What he did in Carolina has nothing to do with what he's doing here. We have to give the guy a chance. But I think OBJ will beat Josh Norman. I'm talking about the Redskins now. That's over. That freaking horrible drafting by Jerry Reese. The Redskins are going to beat the Giants. Normally we play the Redskins incredibly tough. Always. No matter how good or bad we are, no matter how good or bad they are, we always give them a hard time. But their pass rush is really good, and their defense is very good. And they will probably sack Eli Manning 4 or 5 times. That's probably going to happen. If they do the same thing that Atlanta did where they just focus on Saquon Barkley, going to be a long day. It's not really AP, AP was a great signing by the Redskins, very low risk, high reward. He's done very well for them. A guy like Chris Thompson could certainly give us a lot of problems. Alex Smith is mobile enough to make plays with his feet and with his arm. He don't turn the ball over. He's a very consistent, solid quarterback. And Jordan Reed is one of the best when he's healthy, and he's been pretty good this year. What's up, Brandon? How you doing? So the Redskins are a very formidable team, and this is probably one game where we don't beat them. Now, if we go to the bye 1-7, I would like to take a look at Kylo Lauletta. That probably is not going to happen. Eli Manning will probably be the starter for the rest of the year, and I believe that has to do with ownership more than anything else because Mara don't want to bench him, and that's because they're just trying to appease Eli Manning's ego, and that's really ticking me off because Eli Manning, a guy who's always had concrete shoes, in the pocket, very statuesque, and has no ability to run with a poor offensive line. That is not a good combination, and that is why we need a new quarterback. People have talked about trading Odell Beckham, and I don't understand this. I did mention this 2 years ago. People got all over my case about it. Now everybody wants the guy gone. Of course, you're going to get the Odell Beckham and Josh Norman thing. I don't know how much of a thing that is anymore. Really doesn't matter. If you look at the statistics, Odell Beckham beats Josh Norman pretty handily most of the time. And it is what it is. And, hey, as I said, man, earlier in the stream, look Sterling Shepard's way more. Sterling Shepard is open on almost every play. I swear to God, Eli Manning tries to force the ball into Odell Beckham way too often. Let Norman and Beckham play in the damn sandbox, and let Sterling Shepard and Saquon Barkley do their thing. Teams look for the Giants to go to Odell Beckham. Start throwing the ball to Sterling Shepard. He had 5 catches for 167 yards against the Falcons. He's been incredibly consistent this year. And he's open on almost every play. So you put Eli in Carolina. Yeah, well, you put Eli anywhere, they wouldn't be good. Eli's a problem, but Eli's not. Gettleman did not draft Eli. Gettleman did not make Eli Manning 37 years old and put Eli behind a poor offensive line here. You know, that's the thing. No, he didn't draft Cam or Greg Olsen. But when he took over, they were 7-9, and 3 years later, they were 15-1 in the Super Bowl. He had to have had something to do with that Super Bowl run. He took over at the beginning of the 2013 season. And then 2015, they were 15-1. He has something to do with that. 3 years of drafting and 3 years of free agent signings and everything else. It's not just Cam Newton and Greg Olsen that brought that team to a Super Bowl. So 15-1 is pretty damn good. And Gettleman has a hand in that. So I don't know who's a great GM that was available. Somebody tell me, you don't like Gettleman? Tell me who we should have got as GM that was available. Because teams, unless you win, always have a problem with the GM. Okay, when Reese started with the Giants, we had a slogan, "In Reese we trust," because he did draft well the first few years he was here, and then he couldn't draft to save his life. So, like I said, I just want the Reese guys gone. We have to give Gettleman a chance. I don't care what he did in Carolina has no bearing on what he does here. None. So I'm going to give him a chance. I don't care what he did in Carolina. I really don't. It's not important to me. That has nothing to do with the Giants. I want to see what he does here, and I want to give him more than 7 games to say this guy don't belong here. That's just how I look at it. I don't think you can get rid of a GM that took over an incredibly poor team here. And, you know, they keep comparing him to, yes, he does ball. Eli does have to hang it up, and this is going to be Eli Manning's last year, one way or the other, with the Giants. But again, what Gettleman did with the Panthers, I don't think it has any bearing on what he does with the Giants. And as I said, we went over the draft list. There's nothing Gettleman can do about how bad this team is. This team is just bad. You know, it is what it is here. No, I'm off today, Brandon. That's what I'm streaming. But I am streaming the game later tonight, too. So anyway, the Giants need to look Sterling Shepard's way more often in this game and stop looking at Odell Beckham so much. Run Saquon Barkley. But again, at the end of the day, the Redskins are better than we are, and I expect to lose probably 24-14. I don't think our offense is going to be able to do much against their defense. But regardless, it's just funny, all the turmoil with the Giants. Also, man, these guys in the locker room, you don't see a lot of things behind the scene. I'm not in that locker room. But guys like Eli Apple. Eli Apple's a weirdo. Eli Apple is freaking weird. His mom is weird. That was a weird situation from day one with the damn Giants and Eli Apple. Just a weird guy. There's no unity in there. I said this earlier in the year. The Giants play as a bunch of individuals. They don't play as a team. They act like they don't like each other as a team. There's no unity. There's no chemistry. There's no leadership. Got to get some leadership, man. You got to get some guys that are leaders on this team. And again, this group of players lose constantly. It's time to move on. It's time to blow this up. What's up, Quest? How you doing? And it's time, like I said, we have to let Gettleman do his thing. We have to trust the process. We don't have any choice. Gettleman ain't going anywhere next year. They're not going to say, you're out of here, Gettleman. There's no way they're firing a GM after a year. It's not happening. So we have to sit there and bear. We have to see what he does here. Okay? It's that simple. What's up, Quest? How you doing, man? What's up, Kid Blue? Can we sign Paxton Lynch? I don't want Paxton Lynch. I've said before, I want Teddy Bridgewater. But I've heard a lot of Tyrod Taylor things, and honestly, I'm not opposed to Tyrod Taylor coming here for a year or two before we have our quarterback of the future. Tyrod Taylor would not be the future quarterback of the Giants, but if he's a bridge quarterback, then he's a bridge quarterback. It would be nice to have a quarterback that can actually move around a little bit in the pocket, extend the plays, because if your quarterback can move around in the pocket, then extend a play. This allows the talent to really shine against this allows the talent to really shine against the defense. When Odell Beckham and Sterling Shepard have extra time to run around the whatchamacallit. So, you know, that's why it's going to be nice to have a quarterback that extend plays. Eli Manning and this offensive line are not a good combination. And, you know, I don't really want Tyrod Taylor either. Like I said, Kiblu, Bridgewater's my guy. But we'll see what happens. Chad Kelly, yeah, I'm not a big Chad Kelly fan, you know. Well, what else is he going to – let me tell you – let me ask you something, Cruz on. When you go on a job interview, you going to tell the truth all the time? You're trying to get a job. You're going to be 100% honest, or you're going to tell them what they want to hear? You're going to tell them what they want to hear. Eli Manning's not going to be here next year. Like I said, his last job performance included 3 playoff trips and a Super Bowl appearance. That's a good job performance. Let's not analyze it too much. He took over a bad – no, not a bad team, an awful team here. Awful. Horrendous. Disgustingly poor. And you see the 7 years of bad draft picks, man. You cannot blame Gettleman for this. You have to – you got to trust the process. This is all we can do. Can't blame him. You can't blame him at all. Not for this. 2 years from now, if we're still in the same predicament in 2020, then we can blame him. Let's give him a chance. Seriously, we have to give the guy a chance. I don't understand how everybody's already wanting to get rid because he traded Snacks Harrison. That's when all this started. Nobody said a damn thing about it. There's a lot of guys that wanted us to draft a quarterback. I hear this all the time, and I have the same response every time. Saquon Barkley was the pick. Saquon Barkley was the best guy in this draft. You see how freaking dynamic Saquon Barkley is. He will be a big part of what the Giants do in the future. Baker Mayfield is the only guy I wanted in this draft. He wasn't available. Sam Darnold does not look good. Sam Darnold is inconsistent, turns the ball over a lot. Josh Rosen has looked horrible. Horrible with the Cardinals. Josh Allen does not look good with the Bills either. Had one good game against the Vikings. Now he's hurt. Not to mention, none of those quarterbacks, Mayfield, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold, none of them would be starting for the Giants. Eli Manning would still be there. They would be the backup. We wouldn't even know what they brought to the table. Wouldn't even know. So the quarterback, and then think about it. Can you imagine a rookie quarterback behind that offensive line with Wayne Gallman as the starting running back? Do you really think you're giving a rookie quarterback a chance to succeed? If that's what they're dealing with, you think Sam Darnold could have come in here with this piss-poor offensive line and Wayne Gallman as a starting back and been successful? I don't. Josh Rosen? Nope. Josh Allen? Nope. Hell, even Baker Mayfield would have struggled. Later, Jedi. Well, there's probably some people that did question the Gettleman hire from the start. But we have him, and there's nothing we can do about it. I don't know what other GMs are out there. I really don't. I don't know who the Giants are supposed to hire. What's up, NYG31? So, I don't know. Yes, he does, rookie. I mean, that's the whole thing. He's a lot like Barry Sanders. Can you imagine if we build an offensive line around him, what he's going to be? When we get a mobile quarterback, if we get a Justin Herbert out of the draft, if we sign a Teddy Bridgewater, can you imagine what they could do when being mobile, taking the cap space that we're going to have and building our offensive line through free agency and the draft, drafting defense? That's the other thing. If you noticed, all those players I mentioned in that 7 years of drafting, how often did Jerry Reese address the offensive line? Eric Flowers he addressed it with was disgustingly bad. Weston Richburg and Justin Pugh, those are like the 3 guys. And none of them are extremely good. Bobby Hart, terrible. Never addressed the offensive line in any of our drafts. That's why we have such a bad offensive line. But I agree with you, Gene. We have to give Gettleman a chance. I don't know. Gettleman's picks are as bad as Reese. Well, Saquon Barkley's not a bad pick. Saquon Barkley was a good pick. As far as McCaffrey goes, I was going to say Ed McCaffrey going back years with the Giants. Christian McCaffrey's a very good running back. Is he worth the 8th overall pick? I don't know. I don't pay attention to the Panthers. I don't know their draft pick history. I don't care about their draft pick history. I don't care. I guess this is what I'm saying to you, Cruzon. I don't care what he did in Carolina. He's not with Carolina anymore. Carolina is not our problem. He's our problem now. He inherited a really piss-poor team, and we just have to give him a chance. What could he do with this team? He went out and he got the best left tackle on the market. It hasn't worked out. What can you do? He drafted the best player in the draft. No Giants fan can tell me they're unhappy with Saquon Barkley. You can't possibly tell me that that was not a good pick. Will Hernandez, like I said, he struggled. He's shown signs, but he struggled. But again, these guys are rookies. What can you take out of a rookie season? Okay? Lorenzo Carter, kid's got talent. He can play. B.J. Hill, he can play. We haven't even seen R.J. McIntosh yet, and we haven't seen Kyler Lalletti yet, so we don't know what's going on with that. Shermer, I don't like. See, that's the thing. That's the one thing I question about Gettleman was hiring Shermer. I don't even know. Does the GM hire the coach? Doesn't the owner hire the coach? Is that Gettleman's thing to hire a coach? Who the hell hires the coach? I don't even know. I would think it's the owner of the team. I wouldn't think it's the GM. But regardless. And our owner is big time at fault for this too. You know what I mean? John Mara is at fault for a lot of this. And again, that has to do with Eli Manning. That's all Eli Manning. But like I said, man, we have to just trust the process. We're going nowhere. We're going nowhere fast. This is another wasted season. And again, these bad drafts year after year after year after year caught up with us. And I just don't understand why people are already calling for Gettleman's head. Shermer, I understand. Shermer has made a lot of bad play calls, questionable. We do not use Saquon Barkley enough, especially inside the 10-yard line. I am sick of getting cute down there on the 2-yard line, running fly sweeps and then passing on 4th down. You're the Giants. I don't care how bad your offensive line is. You're down there 3rd and 1, and you're planning from your 3rd and goal from the 1. And you're planning on You're planning on going for it on 4th down. You freaking put your 2 tight ends set in there. You put Shane Smith in the backfield. You give Eli the ball. He turns and he hands it to Saquon Barkley, and he uses all that power to push the damn pile of yard. You do it twice, okay? If Saquon Barkley, if you can't score from the 1-yard line with Saquon Barkley twice, then you don't deserve to win. But at that point, you put the ball in the hands of your best player and let him do his thing. And at the end of the game, instead of giving it to Saquon Barkley, he snuck Eli Manning twice. So what the hell was that? So I question a lot of Pat Shermer's decisions. I don't understand what the hell is going on with the coaching staff. I really don't. But at the same time, it'd be nice if we had an offensive line that can play. The 2-point conversion try was stupid too. I mean, I don't know what the hell you're going to go for a 2-point conversion. You go for the 2-point conversion when it's 20-19 and you want to take the win. You don't go for it when you're still a score behind. That makes no sense. Because if you just kick the field goal or the extra point, you go down 20-13. Then if you hold and score again, then you have the option. Do we play for the tie? Do we play for the win? But when you put yourself already out of that situation, now you have to say we're playing for the tie. So I don't like that at that juncture. You do it after you score again, not that early. Because then you can decide. Do we play for overtime? Do we play for the tie? Or do we decide we're going to go for the win? But you don't do it there where all of a sudden you left yourself no options. So, and the thing is, yes, I get it. The play worked. Odell Beckham was open. Eli threw it behind him. They could have easily got the 2 points. I completely understand that. But that's not the right play call. They were Eli? You really think those are Eli, Josh? I don't know, man. I can't say. This is the thing. Number one, I don't know how much Eli Manning calls his own plays anymore. And number two, I can't see Eli Manning calling his own number. I don't see him calling his own number there to sneak the ball. It's just not like him. He don't like to handle the ball. So what's up, Mitch? But regardless, again, this is just a horrible season for the Giants. And, you know. But again, Cruzon, let me ask you something. What did Gettleman have to work with here? You cannot build this through free agency. We had one draft pick, Will Hernandez. Eric Flowers was a disaster at tackle. That's not Gettleman's fault. He signed Nate Solder. The guy was the best one on the market. He's underperformed. What can you do? Okay? Greco's done okay. Omae was terrible. But what is out there? It's not like you're gonna be. It's not like Gettleman can go out and just throw money and sign 4 All-Pro linemen. You can't do that. This line needs. I don't know why Solder's so bad. It baffles me. Yes, he was overpaid. I get it, but I could never fathom. All right, Don, thanks for stopping in, brother. I could never fathom Nate Solder being as bad as Eric Flowers. It just didn't register in my mind. You can only go by past performance. And his past performance is pretty good. I mean, it's not like Tom Brady's a mobile guy either. So it's not like he was like, well, he got beat, but it's Deshaun Watson. He could run away from the guy getting into the backfield. Tom Brady don't run the ball either. So I don't know, man. And exactly, Kid Blue. He did what he could do with our cap. We were in cap hell because of all the free agents that Jerry Reese signed on defense. Cruz, dude, this is what I'm saying, though. I see your point, but you got to give him more than 1 year. How bad was our offensive line last year? What does he have to work with? This is not the line that he wants. He did what he could do for this year. Give him a chance to get guys in here that can be a good offensive line. Rome wasn't built in a day. We were not 11-5 or 13-3 last year with a good offensive. We had one of the worst offensive lines in the league last year. Okay? He can't do much with that. It's not like he had 3 Pro Bowl guys here and all of a sudden the line can't get out of its own way. Nate Solder's looking like a bad signing. I don't know what to say. He's failed. Plain and simple. But Pugh is no good. You know that, Cruzon. Pugh and Richburg are no good. We have agreed on that. They stunk. They got pushed back in the freaking Eli's lap all the time. They were not good. And they got a lot of freaking money, too. And they were not worth the money that they got. But they got a lot of money. We didn't want them here. Bobby Hart, dude. Bobby Hart was trash. Eric Flowers, this is the line that Gettleman had to deal with. He can't go out and replace all across the board. That offensive line was bad. He can't replace an entire offensive line in one season. You got to give him a chance. You have to. I'm pissed off with the 2 Cruzon. I don't like the way it is. I hate our offensive line. It is amazing to me how it hasn't improved one bit. But he did what he could do. He got put in a very precarious spot with this team. It's not a good team. Okay? Let's just – this is what I'm going to say to you, Cruzon, is we have to just play this year out. We're rebuilding, okay? He's doing his thing. He's getting rid of these Reese guys. He's going to start putting his own guys in there. He's going to have a lot of cap space next year. He's going to have his own draft next year. He's going to have Barkley in place. We're going to have a new quarterback next year. And you're going to see that that's going to shore up a lot of things as far as the offensive line goes, a quarterback that can move. We're going to have a lot more. He's going to have a lot more of his own players there. Let's see what happens next season. This season is a bust. It's a wash. It's over. We're blowing it up. We're rebuilding. Let's see what he rebuilds with his guys. And then let's make a judgment. If we're in this position again at the end of next year, then it's time to say this guy can't do it. But let's let him have a chance to get rid of all these Reese guys that were absolutely poor and disgustingly bad year after year after year. And let's see what happens with the new quarterback. Okay. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the Giants. But, I don't know if the Giants are going to tank worse than them. I don't really know. I want Justin Herbert anyway. I want Justin Herbert. This is the guy that I've wanted since, and we realized Eli can't play anymore. Yeah, Giants O-line is very bad. Very bad. But, oh, God. It's the Giants' offensive line is, it took years to get that bad. It's going to take a couple years to fix it. And again, what he did in Carolina, what he does here, they're 2 totally different things. They really are. They're different circumstances. But, like I said, what he did in Carolina, he brought that team to a Super Bowl. They were 7-9 the year he took over. 3 years later, they were 15-1. He had to have something to do with that. Had to. But we'll see what happens, man. I don't know what else to say about it. I don't think that is the future of this franchise, though, William. I want to see what he can do. I mean, why draft a quarterback if you're not going to play him? Yes, I'm off today. I had to take my little guy to the doctors today. He had to get some shots. He's taking a nap right now because he's obviously worn out from that. Poor little dude had to get some needles in his legs. Why not trade Eli Leon? Because Eli Manning is 37 and he's at the end of his career and he commands a massive salary. And he's not going to help anybody at this juncture in his career. Nobody wants to take on $23 million for Eli Manning. Eli Manning will be released by the Giants in the offseason. They will save $17 million in cap space. There's no way Eli Manning comes back and quarterbacks this team next year. I will be irate if Eli Manning is under center next year. I will be really, really pissed off as a Giants fan if that guy's our quarterback. Because he, again, no matter what his talent level is at this juncture in his career, the fact that we have a piss-poor offensive line and we got a quarterback that can't move at all, it's not a good combination. So he don't belong here. You know, it's that simple. But, you know, like I said, if you guys are new to the channel, man, sub it up, hit the like button. I appreciate you hanging out today. But I take Brock Osweiler. No, Brock Osweiler also has a massive contract. That's why I don't want Derek Carr. I do not want a quarterback that is average to below average and commands a massive amount of money. You can get Teddy Bridgewater. You can get Tyrod Taylor. They can fill the spot. They're not going to cost much money. Then you can draft a quarterback in the future, and you're not going to have to pay him what you're going to have with Derek Carr, not initially anyway, with Derek Carr and Brock Osweiler are making. What's up, Eagles? Owen, how you doing? So we'll see. You know, I mean, I don't know, Cruzon. I don't really know what to say about the situation. All I can say is we are stuck with that guy, like it or not. And I just think that regardless of what he did in Carolina, you have to give him a shot here. We have to give him more than 7 games to say this guy's doing a good job or not doing a good job. He's made some good moves. He's made some bad moves. Most GMs do. Jerry Reese made all bad moves, as we saw by that list. We have to give him a shot. There's nothing we can do. Now, I think Landon Collins we traded. As I said earlier in the stream, I'm like in purgatory hell with Landon Collins. I don't want to trade Landon Collins. And at the same time, I don't want to extend Landon Collins. I would like to franchise Landon Collins and see what he does next year. He certainly has a talent to be a great NFL safety, but I question his ball awareness. I question his coverage. Well, he doesn't have good cover skills. He never did. But I'm questioning sometimes his effort and his ability to tackle. So I don't really know. Somebody would have to knock our socks off to get rid of Landon Collins in a trade. I think the Giants need at least a second-round pick for Landon Collins. That's what I think. Or maybe a second and a fifth or something. But they would need some value for Landon Collins. You're not just going to dump him for a 5th-round pick. That's not happening. The dude's 25 years old. He's on his rookie contract, although he's due for money. But he's one of the better safeties in the league. There's a lot of teams that need help as far as secondaries go. Or I shouldn't say he's one of the better safeties in the league. He's got talent to be one of the better safeties in the league. I don't think he's at that level yet. But the Giants need at least a second round or 2nd and 5th, 2nd and 6th. You're not trading him for a 4th or 5th round pick. That would piss me off. Not Snacks going for a 5th round pick. I don't care. George Jenkins, whenever they get rid of him, which hopefully they do, because I don't want him here. He's too much money. He's not a part of the solution. He's not a part of the solution going forward. Get rid of him. I don't care if we get a 4th or 5th round pick for him. I think he commands a little bit more money now that supposedly Patrick Peterson's out on the market, but we'll see. I think at the most, we could get a 3rd round pick. At the least, we get a 5th round pick. But regardless, we dump his salary, which would save us. I think he's a 14 and a half or 14.75 cap hit the next 2 years. If we trade him, he's 7.5 cap hit next year. He's 3.5 cap hit in 2020. That saves the Giants a lot of money. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But Janoris Jenkins should be traded and shouldn't be on this team. And this is really just for cap relief and draft picks because that's how you rebuild a team. And that's what we're doing. Full rebuild mode. You know. I hear you, Cruzon. And again, it's not like I loved the hire. I don't know much about Dave Gettleman. I don't know much about a lot of GMs from other teams because I don't pay attention to other teams the way I pay attention to the Giants. What I do know is that Gettleman has done a lot of things that I wanted to do. Dump JPP. Get rid of him. A lot of salary. He's playing good for Tampa. Good for him. He wasn't going to fit in this system. It just wasn't. Got rid of Eric Flowers. Got rid of Eli Apple. I hated both of those guys. Hated them. So, And I always liked Alec Ogletree. And the other thing is you got to give these guys that came over, you got to give your Alec Ogletrees, you got to give your Nate Solders, you got to do, although I'm not making excuses for Nate Solder, but you got to give them a chance to get used to the system. They've played in one system their entire career or for the better part of their career, and they come over here and they're playing under a different system. Got to give them a little time to adjust. Got to give them a little time to build some chemistry. We got to give them time. We were 3-13 last year. We weren't 13-3 and looking at 1-6 now. We were really bad last year. We're really bad this year. Yeah, I know. JPP never did that with us. But let's look at JPP in a big game when it matters, and he'll disappear. He always did with the Giants. This guy never played big in a big game. Stat patter is what he was. I hear you, Cruzon. That's what I'm saying. So he's done some good things. We just have to give him a chance. That's all. Like I said, dude, if we're in this predicament again next year, then I'll get on his case. But it's just hard for me to not give the dude a chance because of the draft that I mentioned at the beginning. I mean, that is there. You cannot find me a GM that had a worse 7 years of drafting than Jerry Reese did. You can't. That was terrible. Pretty much, rookie. I mean, that's exactly what he did. He drafted poorly, and then he threw a bunch of money on free agents to try to cover up bad drafting for years. Like I said, we should have blown it up in 2015. That's when the blow-up should have started. They were going to get rid of Coughlin. They should have blown it up then. That's what should have happened. Instead, they got rid of Coughlin and paid $200 million for defensive players, and if you were going to do that, then you should have kept Tom Coughlin. So, yeah, I said the same thing, Caesar. I think his draft class is okay. I mean, Barkley's amazing. Lorenzo Carter and B.J. Hill can play. Well, Hernandez has struggled. We'll see if he gets any better, but he's not played well overall. I mean, he's had some good moments, but overall he struggled. Listen, it doesn't help when you're a rookie and you got a veteran left tackle that's getting beat on every play too. Veteran left tackle should be able to help the rookie, okay, and he's not. But we haven't seen R.J. McIntosh. We haven't seen Kyle Oleta. So we have to get a look at those two. But Carter, B.J. Hill, and Saquon Barkley are good draft picks. So we'll see. I don't know. And we got hit with a dead cap this year. We lose that cap next year. We got a $15 million cap at this, but that won't be there next year. The Giants are going to be in a much better position in the salary cap next year than we were this year. We were in bad spots with that salary cap this year, a bad spot. And that's why we got to get rid of these players because all these guys, their contracts are backloaded, which doesn't make any sense. Olivier Vernon is another guy. I would not be surprised if Olivier Vernon gets shipped out of here. Not this year, but in the offseason. We'll see what happens. There'll be another $11 million, they say. But Olivier Vernon's a good player. I don't really want to get rid of Olivier Vernon. I just wish the damn guy could stay on the field. He's always hurt. Always. So, I don't know. Name my kid. I'm done having kids, dude. I'm old. No more kids for me. No more kids for me. Yeah, Nate. I mean, you get conflicting opinions on things. For me, I just want to give Gettleman more than 1 year to fix a team that was bad for 6 years. This team's been bad for 6 years. So, we'll see. But again, dude, Darnold is a turnover machine. And can you imagine the Jets have a good offensive line. Can you imagine Darnold with our offensive line and no running game? Think about that. Sam Darnold with the offensive line we have and Wayne Gallman as the running back. Do you really think Sam Darnold succeeds here? I don't. What's that killer tapes time? 12:59 East Coast time. But yeah, exactly, Kid Blue. That's what I'm talking about, man. John Mayer is a huge part of the problem. John Mayer's comment on Odell Beckham, I laughed because I'm like, you signed him, man. You're the one that put the pen to paper and gave him the contract, and you know how Odell Beckham is. Don't be an idiot. And I told you this, guys, before. The whole reason Odell Beckham is signed is because Odell Beckham makes the Giants money hand over fist. That's exactly what it is. I hear you, Rucky. I think Giants fans in general, including myself, are just extremely frustrated with all the losing. We're sick of the damn losing. It is a horrible stretch for us right now. We are in a lot. We have so many problems on this team, and it's not going to happen overnight. We need a lot of drafts. We're going to need 2 or 3 drafts to get out of this crap. That's what we're going to need. One draft ain't fixing it. We're going to need 2 or 3 solid years of draft picks and good free agent signings. And we're going to need a damn good quarterback. I know. Fuller tore his ACL. He's on my fantasy team. What else is new? This is the type of crap that happens to me. At least he had a huge game beforehand. My fantasy team destroyed it last night. I had Deshaun Watson. He had a pretty good game, 5 touchdowns. I had Will Fuller. He had 124 yards receiving and a touchdown. And I had Kenyon Drake. He had 58 yards. He had 95 total yards and 2 touchdowns. I had a good night with my fantasy team last night. That was good. That was a good night. I scored 86.5 points with 3 guys. That's pretty damn good. Odell is a distraction. Odell has always been a distraction. And as I said, everybody knew what they get with Odell. Why all of a sudden people want to trade him is beyond me. Now that we signed him to a long-term deal and everyone was bitching and complaining that, oh, God, don't trade. Oh, Odell Beckham is the greatest. Odell Beckham is the greatest. Now all of a sudden he's here. And now all of a sudden everyone wants him gone. Beginning of last year, I made that video. I said, I want Odell Beckham out of here. I think the Giants should look at trading him. And instead of giving him all that money, put the money in other spots in this team where we're weak. The Giants have never won a Super Bowl with an elite wide receiver. Don't need an elite wide receiver to win Super Bowls. You just don't. You need to win in the trenches. You need a good quarterback. You need a good running back. That's how you win. You win at the line of scrimmage, plain and simple. Good defensive line, good offensive line, ball control, clock control. Run the ball, stop the run. You win. Basic football. You don't win with flashy wide receivers. Never have, never will. There's very few elite wide receivers that won Super Bowls in their career. Jerry Rice is the exception. Jerry Rice was absolutely amazing. Antonio Brown hasn't won a Super Bowl. DeAndre Hopkins hasn't won a Super Bowl. Andre Johnson never won a Super Bowl. Calvin Johnson never won a Super Bowl. Julio Jones hasn't won a Super Bowl. They're all elite wide receivers. Jerry Rice was the man. They're all elite wide receivers. None of them won a Super Bowl. None. We won Super Bowls with Steve Smith, Plaxico Burress, Amani Toomer. That was a good wide receiver core, but they weren't elite. The whole thing with Odell being a distraction, it's not even him. It's the media that does that. You know that, Cruzon. The media makes him a distraction. I mean, every time he does something, they show him. Every time. He's running into the locker room, they got a report on. Dude, was it the Falcons game, guys? I don't remember. I think it was the Falcons game. I was too busy screaming. He went into the locker room. They made a big deal about it. He went into the locker room to go to the bathroom. He went into the locker room to take a leak. And they made a big deal about him going into the locker room. This is what the media does. The media makes Beckham out to be a distraction. But the media does it, Cruzon. We don't. I don't really care what – I've said this about Odell Beckham. He is a distraction. The media makes him a distraction because he's a fiery player and he does some off-the-wall crap. We can't deny that, dude. He is a little – he's not right up here. We know that. Most receivers aren't, but he's not, okay? I don't care what the hell he does on the sideline. I don't care what the hell he does in the locker room unless he's dividing the team, and most of these guys will tell you they love Odell Beckham. Most of his teammates will tell you they love the guy. I never question his passion or effort on the field. That's all that matters to me as a fan. Give me passion, give me effort, play hard on every play. That's Odell Beckham. I don't care what anyone says. That's all he can ask for. He doesn't mail it in. He wants to win. He's pissed off at the losing. I equate it to that. Yes, he does some strange things. Yes, he makes some questionable decisions. Yes, he should not address teammates in the media or throw them under whatever. He should not give the media anything. It's tough to win in New York. When you are a superstar player, the media is out to get you, and they look to trap you. Jeter was the best at deflecting all of this crap. He was. He was able to deflect it. Not to mention, New York loved him so much they kept all of his other crap under wraps because Jeter did some shady crap. The cologne, the baskets that he gave women when they stop it. Jeter did some shady crap, but the media left him alone. Beckham is a freaking lightning rod. And just like A-Rod was. When A-Rod was here, Alex Rodriguez played for the every single thing Alex Rodriguez did was questioned. Remember, he supposedly gave a ball. He wrote his number on a ball, gave it to a girl in the stands. Remember when he got benched in place of Raul Ibanez as the DH, and he said, "Hi, Mom," to the camera, and they made a huge deal about that, and they always showed him on the damn bench. Odell Beckham, same thing. When the media is out to get you here, they're out to get you. A-Rod was that guy too. When they like you, they leave you the hell alone. But that's the thing. Exactly. Eli deflects it. But the media is all over Eli for poor performance, not because of character issues. But he's another one that deflects it and does it well. I cruise on. I agree 150%. I don't care what the guy does. He's a weirdo. Just play hard, dude, and be a great teammate. I'm with you. I'm good. I talked about trading him because I didn't want to spend that money, and I said we could put it in different places. But now that we have him, he's here, and I don't want him gone now. Unless somebody says, dude, unless somebody comes to the Giants and says, we'll give you 2 first-round picks for Beckham, or a first and a second, I don't want him going. Somebody comes up to him and says, we'll give you our 2019 first-round pick, 2020 first-round pick, he's gone. I'd go pack his bags and ship him out myself. Somebody gave us 2 first-round picks for that guy. That's not going to happen, though. Yeah, he's at the end of his career, and, he's just getting beat up left and right. So, JD Martinez is injured. I didn't even know that. Didn't even know. I'm not talking about A-Rod being a QB, Dennis. I'm talking about when he played for the Yankees. The media did the same thing, unless you're talking about when he was in high school. Listen, again, Mr. George, I don't care what Odell Beckham likes. I've said before, I don't give a damn if that dude runs around in a freaking tutu and slippers and does ballet. I don't care what the hell he does. Just give me touchdowns and effort on the field. I don't care what that guy's. I don't. People always bring that man's personal preference and all this other stuff and question all this crap about him. I don't give a damn what he does off the field. I do not care. I could not care less what these players do in their personal lives. There's no bearing on my life at all. What they do on the field has a bearing on my life so much because I spend 3 hours and 30 minutes every Sunday pouring my heart out and throwing out all my emotion at that team. So that matters. But what they do off the field, I don't care where the hell he's going to the club. I don't care if he's dancing with men. I don't care if he's cross-dressed. I don't care what he does. I never have. But and they might trade back, William. It depends. Only the future will tell, but this season is a complete and utter implode, and it's a rebuild. So what's up, Amir? How you doing, man? We'll see. I really don't think we're beating the Redskins. I honestly don't. I agree with you, NYG Joe. I wish we had a bunch of guys that. I wish we had a bunch of Beckhams and Barkleys on this team. I do. I wish we had that kind of talent level and that kind of passion. And I also love the humility of Saquon Barkley when they talk about all of his statistics. And Barkley said, "I don't care. I don't care about that. I want to win." Actually, I think this broke a string. I don't think he had 100. I don't think he had 100 total yards from scrimmage. I think he had 95. I don't think he made 100. Yeah, exactly. Cruz on. I'm with you there too. I don't care what he does. It's not important in the grand scheme of things. Actually, Caesar, I looked at the free agent market, and there really isn't any good offensive linemen. It's a difficult thing to get. So I said, you have to build that through the draft, and that's why Gettleman was handed a really bad offensive line. It's just going to take some years to fix this. It's going to. Yeah, all we need is Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. Probably not getting him, unfortunately. But listen, guys, I'm going to wrap this up because I'm hungry. I want to eat some lunch before my little guy wakes up. I am live streaming the game tonight, so I hope you guys come out, hang out with me. Last time we had a lot of fun in that stream with the baseball game, even though we really didn't talk about baseball. But again, I'm going to be streaming the game. Come in. You can talk about whatever you want because we always do. And I really enjoy it. And I appreciate you guys a lot more. I appreciate you guys a lot. I love doing it because it's a lot of fun, man. So I hope to see you guys tonight. Thank you for joining. Like I said, if you haven't subbed up the channel, please like and subscribe. I hope to see you tonight. And then, of course, Sunday, make sure you tune in for my Giants live stream so you can watch me scream for 3 hours and act like a freaking raving lunatic because that's pretty much what I do. So Oh, Ogletree's out as well. I didn't even know that. But anyway, you guys have a good day, and I hope to see you later tonight. Bad Dog, I'm out. Peace.